You know the old saying.
Oh boy.
If the dog's sick, gotta let him barf.
That's what they say.
You can't plant a field with a stump in it.
That one lost me.
Gotta get the stump out.
All right, that's I can go around the stump, I guess. I thought.
No, because then you're losing field.
Did you come up with these?
Yeah, I'm just popping these off the top of my head. I got another one. This is
Ben Franklin machine over here.
This is one I've been cooking on for a little bit. Let me know if you guys like it.
Okay.
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
God damn it. God damn it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to AITA Pod. I'm Danny Vega, joined by the lovely Shannon D.
Hey.
And the aphoristic. I don't know if I can fly that.
Is that a word?
One known to make aphorisms. I don't think that's a.
Maybe.
Jacques David.
Jacques David. I have returned.
I was listening to one.
Yeah.
I like Norm Macdonald's stand up a lot.
Oh, so does my boyfriend.
He's a fucking genius.
Yeah, he loves him.
Your boyfriend, not Norm, is a genius.
Yeah, I know that.
And that's sweet.
He is.
Really?
Yeah. I think
interesting.
So. I don't know. I don't know what a genius is.
I've never engaged him on an intellectual level. Is he a
smarty?
A smarty boy?
Yeah.
These are hierarchies. I don't like that
I know. We just had this conversation.
Anti-hierarchy squad. You're saying he's
but Max is a fucking genius.
Yeah. What does he know a lot about?
Well, he's really good at real estate development, and that's his business. And you have to it actually takes a lot more creativity than anyone would know. There's a lot of different.
I have notes on real estate all the time.
I think the capacity to make money in self-generated fields like that takes absurd creativity.
Well, there's so many
totally.
I think one of the things I noticed, God, this is going to sound so elite coastal, but like whenever I see parks in most cities, they're really sad to me. Because a good park gives you a sense of space, and you do that by having a lot of stuff in the park. But most parks, especially in Phoenix, it's
it's just like a playground.
Phoenix parks are just a place for teenagers to drink.
It's like walls. Yeah. It's just like tons of grass, like plains of grass, and then like a sidewalk winding through it. 14 trees on 17 acres. It's like, that's not a nice place to walk around. There's nothing to look at or see.
I think the reason why western half of the United States parks are kind of so-so, with the exceptions of probably like Portland, Seattle, San Francisco, it's because we have so many national parks. Like if you look at the national and state park comparison on the East Coast to the West Coast, it's insane.
Well, it's also expensive to build a good park, and trees don't come cheap.
I think most of the efforts for that like outdoor access is like in the West Coast mindset is like, got the fucking mountains right over there. What if we spent the money on the mountain parks?
That's fair. There's access to the real outdoors, but that's great. Well, yeah.
Who were you saying was a genius?
Norm Macdonald.
Oh yeah, why were you talking about?
So he has this joke, and anyway, there's just a line that he says in the joke about saying, he's like, "Oh, I would never kill someone on purpose. I'd never kill a woman on purpose." And he's like, "I don't know, maybe I would. There's no river so long it doesn't have a bend." And I was like, "Is that a phrase?" And I've Googled it, and it's not. I'm like, I think he just said that, and that is just such poetry, and I fucking love it.
No, he had such a humanist approach to comedy. He's one of the few comedians where I'm kind of bummed out when somebody tells me, "Oh, I don't get it." I'm just like, "Oh, I feel sorry for you."
About Norm?
I've heard multiple people say they don't get it, and I feel it's not like I'm like think less. I'm just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry that you don't get this joy." Because it's so like I feel so together with humanity when I'm listening to Norm's bits.
Genuinely, I noticed one thing he does too. Whenever he like references a joke, he'll be like, "When we talked about," he like makes it weird.
Yeah, he had this. God, it was almost this like old school late night TV quality to him. It's Carson-esque, this like way that he had of bringing everybody into the conversation with him. And he says incredibly like edgy, thought-provoking shit, but he says it so like my favorite joke he has is like, "I like when somebody tells me that somebody kills themselves and somebody says, I just don't understand why." You don't? Like you're having fun on this marriage?
What you don't
I'm
know
butchering
about
the joke.
I got it. Hold on. That's my favorite joke too. He goes, "What, you don't know about life? You live You live in some kind of cotton candy house or something?
Yeah.
And it's like such a commonplace thing.
And,
But
it's dark and it's grim, but it is universal. You
Right, everybody
immediately understand what he's
understands it.
talking about. It's just like, okay, yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
But
he
special. We're never going to see something like that again.
going on this tour made me think of like, you know, it brought me back to like one of the reasons I got into comedy. And I think it's a really high bar. It's really hard to hit. But I'm like, if you can build a rapport with an audience and, you know, bring them into your world, you actually, I think, can do like make social progress. It's not super funny necessarily, but like it did make me think. You know, at one point during one of my sets, they were kind of, you know, it's a super red town. And at some point, people, you know, because the Bud Light controversy was going on now with the rainbow on the cans or whatever, and someone was like, "Oh, Bud Light, so whatever." And I'm not calling this social activism of any kind, but I did get this in pretty deep into my set, and I was just like, "You're yelling about Bud Light. We're literally at a brewery. Buy the beer here. Like support local businesses.
Get over your ex."
Yeah, right. That's my favorite part about that too. People are like, I ain't buying Budweiser, and I'm like, yeah, good. They're the biggest beverage company in the world.
Yeah, buy small.
Try to not buy from Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah, I challenge
Really?
you. Yeah, it's InBev. It's even bigger.
Yeah,
Anheuser-Busch is the
InBev,
old
like,
umbrella.
Fucking Constellation Brands.
Everything.
Nestle owns everything. Like, it's all fucked. But my favorite thing about anytime there's panic about go broke, go woke, go broke, that crowd rises up. Them going out of their way to go to stores to buy the product to then shoot TikTok videos showing how impactful.
Oh, how they're going to throw it out.
Yeah, you're wasting it. Yeah.
And you're making their point louder when you're showing the world, like, look at how upset these fucking lunatics get because we put a rainbow flag on a can.
That's a good point.
So
I
true.
wonder
They're
if
making
It's
themselves look
performative
dumb.
activism. Bud Light does not give a fuck about the progression of LGBTQ rights in this country. I'm sure individuals at that company do, but the conglomerate as a whole doesn't fucking care.
Well, I also think, I'm wondering now if the publicity level from this, it's like everyone
yeah.
talked about it.
And now you know all the liberals are going out and buying it too. Now
I'm
just
sure.
Actually, that's where I don't think they do, but I think that there's an ingrained, like, I don't think that any leftist is going to go out and buy Bud Light because there's rainbow flags on it. Everything has. My least favorite thing that the cannabis industry does is put rainbow flags on products in June of just like, okay, what are we actually doing?
It's performative.
What are we actually doing?
Some companies donate to the cause and stuff.
Some, for sure, but it's
small
not,
percentage.
It's not universal.
No.
And it comes down to like, okay, walk the talk. Like, are we going to put out public alignment? Because that's where I think the companies fuck up, is they put the imagery on the packaging, which, you know, it is normalizing it. There's something to be said there, but there's never public statements really saying the company is behind this. They're just using the imagery. So it's very easy for them to just call it decor.
I think it's cynical to say it doesn't mean anything.
It's a little
I think it helps with the normalizing.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I don't think it hurts.
But what I'm saying
But
is
it's like a holiday.
Yeah, I think it does help make it normal. I think the issue I have is to view it as virtuous.
Mm-hmm.
It's like also like there's a branding opportunity here.
Yeah.
You know
Right.
what I mean?
No,
Like
it's capitalism. They don't take a breath without doing tons of market research. And the reason they're doing this is because it's going to make them more money.
Well, there is a great story though where this paid off, and I think it was actually pretty hip. It was Subaru. This is one of my favorite podcast episodes, Planet Money. So Subaru was like a nothing company. Nobody gave a shit. And at that time, this is in the 90s, the only industries marketing toward gay people were the so-called sin industries,
Right.
your alcohol, your porn, whatever. And Subaru was like, hey, what if we marketed toward gay people? And they made like super specific targeted ads that like only gay, they explained it and I forgot it because I'm straight.
Marketing
And
analytics.
it was like specific celebrities and stuff like that. And now Subarus are known. I think there's like some kind of
As
clever
the LGBTQ car.
something. Well, lesbians in particular, they marketed
Oh,
particularly.
really?
Yeah, and it
Oh.
really changed the game for them.
Well, I saw a tweet recently going back to the Bud Light thing that was like, maybe we need to start doing or having gay people in gun ads. So they start throwing out their guns.
I love that. I gotta say, I'm all on board. That would piss my dad off so
guns
hard.
Are gay.
The next.
Let's make guns gay.
And when you think about it, they're basically giant dicks.
Yeah.
They're basically just giant
Oh my God, guys,
penises.
let's make this a thing.
The most Freudian thing ever.
We are going to get AR-15s outlawed in a week.
Yes. They should just start waving them around at Pride this year.
I mean, honestly, like if anybody in this country deserves to arm themselves for protection, it's
hell
100%
yeah, that's
the
a fact.
LGBTQ community. I love that with the white male customer of the AR-15 of like, I need this to protect myself with the entire state behind me at every turn.
Right.
God.
So, any other updates, squad? What else is going on?
Well, I'm still waiting to hear what this thing is on the dock.
Oh, well, Jake and I were laughing because, and we're blown away, Shannon, with your vulnerability and your sharing of things. But yeah, this is that Jake had mentioned, like, that he would bring up the show to people and they're like, oh my God, yeah, like Shannon's so hot. And I was like, oh, I forgot. And I actually remember there was a point with the pod where I was like kind of worried that I would fall in love with you. And I was like, that would be really bad. Like, I might not want to look at her too much.
I specifically said, Danny, don't. Danny, don't do that.
Don't what?
Don't fall in love with Shannon.
Wait, what did he say something to you before?
No, he was talking about the other night. Yeah, you were just saying what you just said, essentially, of just like, I was worried that I might.
It was a fear.
And my reaction was to instinctively just be like, please don't. Be such a bummer.
Well, why?
Why what?
Why would you think that? Because you didn't know me well enough or something?
I didn't know you.
And you were like, she's just so cute?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And then I got to know you, and then I was like, she's so cute until.
Was it the feet thing? Or just my personality in general?
I mean, I just don't really think we're compatible,
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
You two were like one arc, one season of a sitcom compatible.
Yeah, we wouldn't get along.
Yeah, I think we could have like a decent year-long relationship.
And it would be one that nobody's too worried about because all of us are like, this is not going to work. It's not going to, they're not going to get invested enough for this to get bad toxic. This is going to be like they argue at dinner and they do that for like 6 months and then it's just over and it's fine.
Yeah.
What would our fights be?
Oh, everything.
What they are on the podcast.
Yeah. Everything.
Literally, like after the third month, I don't think there would be anything you don't argue about.
I think I would get a lot of random hostility from Shannon as she became unhappy dating a little short gremlin,
That would be a big...
No, it wouldn't have anything to do with you being a gremlin.
No. I feel like you would take random shots at me, though, as you grew distant from me, I'd be ordering dinner, and I'd be like, let me get the steak medium rare, and you're like... Medium rare, gonna get another one of your little steaks. And I'd be like, what the fuck? I'm trying to order steak. Why aren't we having sex? Why aren't we having sex? Why don't you answer that? And the waiter's like, can I go? What's going on?
Yeah, probably. Well, I had one of our friends, actually. I remember we were on our way to your aunt's and we were all in the car. And he was like, when I first met you, like I was attracted to you. Like I would definitely have sex with you. And then he was like, but now that I got to know you better, like I don't really feel that way anymore. I don't even think that I would if I even had the opportunity. And then one of our other friends in the back goes, I'd still fuck you, Shannon.
Oh, great timing. When we're off the air, I need you to tell me who was who in that conversation.
Yeah, it was so good. But
I think I might know who was the second one.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll save it. But I'm a little offended by this, though.
What?
Because you don't like my personality?
No, I do like you. I
give you the ick?
No, I'm just not attracted to you. I don't think you're attracted to me either. That's okay. It's a different thing. I like you. I wouldn't date Jake either.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, I'd treat you so
I
good.
think he would treat you good.
I think Jake, here's what Jake and I would only last 3 months, but it would be the craziest 3 months.
Be a fucking disaster.
It would
Crimes
be so
committed.
intense.
I'm different after.
I
got a full sleeve tattoo just telling the whole story. And it's never carnal. It's like a hostile business relationship.
We'd buy a truck together. We got a truck, Shannon! Get in the truck!
I love him so fucking much.
Oh, wait, hold on.
They seem so angry. What?
Okay, well, wait. I want to go back to when you thought that you would, because you said you felt that way with Sarah, too.
oh, okay, you're just gonna put that on the air. There was points. Look, I'll be honest. There were points where I had crushes on Sarah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're usually when we weren't together, and I would just, because we spent a lot of time. We were very close, and we still are. But and I was in a relationship at the time, and. Yeah, well, I might as well just say it.
Juicy.
I might as well just say it. I had the thought, and this is the beginning of the end, and I had this thought. I was like, I think I would just trust Sarah to be a mother more than my partner. And I was like, oh boy, that's a bad thought.
That's a big thought.
That is.
I'd say that's a big thought because it would be bad if you
had a child coming.
If you had a child coming, or if you had emotional investment in the relationship you were in, to the point where you were intending on making that, but you were starting to falter there. You were starting to exist outside of. There's two deaths in a relationship. There's the part where somebody checks out, and then there's the breakup. And the worst thing you can do is when you check out, you need to recognize when you've checked out. Because my biggest mistake in any relationship I've had was I checked out, and it went on for another 6 months after that, and it wasn't fair to anybody.
No.
But relationships die twice.
Well, one of the reasons it didn't end cleaner is because when I was like, hey, I don't think this is going to work, she was like, oh, it's going to work.
Holy shit. So you were dating Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, Danny. This is going to fucking work. That's 3 eps in a row. I'll stop.
Yeah, there we go. But look, Shannon, you're a beautiful person.
Thank you.
I mean, what attracts someone to
was
someone
this
else?
Before we were recording together? When we were first getting into it?
No, we were first recording together. I mean, we're
chemistry was off the charts all the way around.
There still is chemistry. It was just like I didn't know you enough. I mean, we hadn't really become friends yet, right? There's a middle kind of part there,
Yeah.
Like there's a part where I didn't even know you had a boyfriend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you were trying.
I wasn't trying, Shannon. I wasn't trying. I was like, maybe this could play out that way. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah,
oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I'm just sitting there we're going to make a podcast together.
Yeah.
And Danny's
I'm
just
like,
rubbing his
and
hands
you were
together.
you were like, maybe not because I might like her. You might fall in love with me. There was a love part.
Well, that was the thought. It was like, this could be a threat to the podcast. If I were to fall for you, it would be a problem.
Got it.
But we missed one. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say we missed one combination.
What?
We got the length of your and I relationship. We got the length of me and Jake's, but we don't have Shannon and Jake. How long would you guys last?
I don't think that long.
No, I've never, outside of me very awkwardly asking you out the first time that we really met.
Yeah.
As soon as that was passed, it was just this immediate, I have so much respect for you as a person and a performer. It's always just been a team vibe.
Yeah, totally.
I've always referred to you as objectively attractive because I've never had that inclination of oh yeah, she's undeniably a super attractive person. But I'm just
you never had that inclination that I was?
No. That I've never had the carnal impulse.
Shannon is at
you.
the lake right now with the long rod. Let's pick up some compliments.
What the hell?
Let's catch some fish.
What I mean is I totally understand that's probably one of the most attractive people I've ever seen, but I don't
Oh my God, wow.
I don't want to act on
Thank
it.
you.
I'm just I want to create. I want to do shit with you. Ride or die. Let's go.
Yeah.
And my carnal impulses are all over the map. I have a wild track record of if you put everybody that I've dated in a row, you would not be able to pick out a type. There's a couple of key distinguishing factors, but it's always so individual to the specific person.
The 3 that I know that you've dated all look very
super
different.
Yeah. So it's just kind of that I don't know art, but I know what I like kind of impulse.
Well, and here's the thing too. I'm not usually attracted to girls that are taller than me. So,
that's the dream, baby.
So I think part of me was she's so pretty, it doesn't matter.
Oh my God, that's so sweet.
I still, Jackie knows this, but that's that was my Moby Dick was I just wanted to date somebody taller than me for a good run.
You mentioned
that before.
Have you found anyone?
No, I never. I got close a couple of times.
Jake? There's no woman the height of a cruise ship?
I definitely I remember I worked at an office with a woman who was 6'8" and she was really pretty.
Wow.
But it was just one of those things I take work stuff really seriously. I never pursue people in work environments. Even when I was doing stand up, I never hooked up with other comedians. I never wanted anybody to worry about me just being interested in them hitting on them.
Yeah.
So I never pursued anybody in any place that I worked. So, and a lot of the times I would ignore a lot of signals, not even realizing it. Like I would people would be laying it down and I would just be like, yes, colleagues, I understand.
I mean, I've been there too. Yeah. Cause you don't want to mess work.
But I'm not even I'm not even aware that I'm ignoring their signals.
Yeah,
I honestly am just
it.
not picking it up because I have that part of my brain shut off.
Yeah.
So
you're like, I want to fuck you raw, Jake. And you're like, absolutely. The numbers we will fuck so raw. Yes.
We're going to kill this quarter. We're going to kill this financial quarter. I'd murder your dick. Dick in accounting? Yeah, I want to murder him sometimes too. He's always choking up the budget.
He's fudging us.
I'll choke something up. Oh, you're choking up the competition is what you're doing. Just you can't get past it. I am not giving you this.
Yeah. She's getting on her knees. Oh, no, I dropped my keys. Where's my keys? Thought I had my. Oh, I have my keys. What are you down here for? Oh, this is like a fort. Let's go in this and make presentation.
But the funny thing about that is when I've been in traditional office environments, especially like pooled offices where there's people from different companies, women have said the most insanely aggressive things to me in passing. That's just I didn't react to because I just have that part of my brain shut off. But there have been times where it was just she was older than me too, and she worked a few cubicles over, but she would just occasionally say stuff of you're so fucking tall. How do you even fit in the fucking elevator? Big mouth.
Hey, that's
level,
my premise, lady. You get the fuck away from my premise.
She would just tease me for being so tall, and I'm just well, I don't appreciate those jokes, but I'm not gonna correct you on that. And I'm just 23 years old, not knowing what the fuck is going on. But
that.
Yeah, I think Shannon and I probably go on 2 dates, and then it's just a very I don't think this is gonna work out kind of.
Yeah. I think it could be a few more dates than that, but then we would start, I think, arguing.
I don't know about arguing. I think it would just be flat.
Yeah.
Trying to put romance into this dynamic.
And it would be more just buddy.
Yeah, exactly. We'd roast the shit out of people and be like, that's chemistry, right? And it's not. It's just we're
just
funny
friendship.
together.
And then you guys would start a podcast and it fails because you don't have me.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, us as a throuple? All three of us?
Well,
sky's the limit.
I don't know if I can handle the optics.
I mean, that's what this
I'm picturing it and I don't like
That's
it.
what this is.
Yeah, we're
doing it right now.
Yeah.
It's a throuple with a lot of boundaries.
I was picturing the sex part, and that's weird.
That's one of the boundaries.
I don't know where it goes.
Wait, why?
I don't know where it goes.
Of Jake?
Yeah, is it a devil's threesome all the time, or does Jake fuck me? It gets weird.
I think
that makes me feel weird. The idea of Jake and I being together and Jake fucking me, I'm like, that's fine. But when it's us three, I'm like, I don't want Shannon to see Jake fucking me. That's weird. That's weird.
No, we could just do it where you guys don't have to touch each other.
I like how this is on a main episode and not a bonus.
I know.
This is the content that should be on a bonus episode.
It's coming out. Yeah, I'm drunk on liquid death.
They're all just imagining us having sex right now.
Yeah.
Oh, they've already
every
been doing
single
that.
one of them.
We haven't seen the real fan art.
See, I hope there's a guy trying to masturbate to Shannon, and then I pop in.
And you pop in again. Yeah, it's just God damn it, the tall guy's doing a dumb voice again.
Narrating the thing.
He does the wrestling man voice.
Guys, we got one heck of an app for you today. We're gonna do a couple little We're trying to work our way through the submissions. Some are kind of no brainers, so we're just gonna rip through a couple quickies. AITA for not wanting my boyfriend to watch porn or play porn games. Thanks for writing, OP. We think it's a hard situation. It's above our pay grade. We wish you the best, and you deserve more. We are recommending professional help here. This was a conversation that the three of us had, which sometimes I think get a little bit out of our britches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes we're a little bit too cavalier with hold my beer, I'm gonna solve this one kind of takes. And yeah, there's a lot of layers to this, and we're so sorry that you're going through it. But yeah, this is one to come to somebody who's got a lot more training than us.
I think there was kids involved as well. I think that's where it gets complicated. It's so easy to be like, oh, break up with them, but it's this is complicated. This is a complicated thing.
And none of us have children, so it's hard for us to just say, but we really appreciate you writing in, and best of luck.
AITA for telling my family I don't have time to come to them and they should come to me instead. My fiance, 23F, and I, 25M, have a 4-month-old baby. Our life has changed dramatically since having her, as expected. Long story short, we work constantly and have very little free time. I've told them they're free to come around when they please, but getting everything together for the baby, driving to them is just too much. All of them work normal hours, around 8 hours a day, and finish work around 5 p.m. I work 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and don't get in until around 7:30. I don't feel as though it's a big ask. Since telling them to come to us, I haven't heard from them in a couple of weeks. They haven't even called or texted. I was wondering if I was too blunt or if it's still my responsibility to take my baby to see them, AITA.
Boy, I feel like this is one that a lot of people in their mid 20s to late 30s can relate to. The fact that you have a baby just heightens this one for me, but like I feel like getting parentals to come and visit you, that's something that I think a lot of people have to deal with, of like, oh, come out and see us. Like I'm fighting for my life out here. I am trying to pay bills. I am like, I don't know what the parent situation is, granted, but most of the time when parents are pressuring their kids to come visit, there's a real lack of balance there where they're approaching it from the mentality of like, well, I'm your mom, I'm your dad, come see me. And it's like, you are retired and I have to work for a living. Yeah, I have a hard time being sympathetic for these parents.
I think this is a toughie because I think the parents, like if I put this with friends, like I have friends like this where I know they're not going to come to me. I'm going to have to go to them and it's not really equal. And like, now when friends do that to me, I'm kind of like, then we're not really friends now, are we? I'm not going to be chasing you, honey. You know, I got enough people.
Yeah.
So it's a painful thing to accept because if that's the dynamic with these parents, but I think OP, you got to look at like if your parents aren't willing to come to you when you're clearly working your ass off and you have basically a newborn, a 4-month-old, that's a new baby.
Brand new baby.
Brand new.
The parents are being dicks.
Can't even stop pooping. This baby is so new.
No,
it's
and
fresh.
screaming and crying and keeping you up all night. Like if your parents aren't understandable about that, like I don't understand. They are parents too. They went through the same shit. Like, how are they all of a sudden expecting that it's going to be any different like generations later? No, it's the same shit. Babies are always the same way.
I've got a miniature me made out of glass with a head so soft that I could fuck them up forever if I hold them wrong. That's
the baby?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
How durable do you think a newborn is? It's basically made out of Jello.
I don't know, but I think glass is stronger than newborn.
The glass is stronger than Jello. I'm gonna settle on
like thin glass breaks.
Like fancy
if you drop
glass.
it.
Sure. Fancy glass.
Act like you weren't as confused as me 2 seconds ago.
I was. But hold on a second now. Also, it says in the last paragraph, since telling them to come, I haven't heard from them in a couple weeks and they haven't even called or texted. My question is, have you been trying to call and text them? Like, is this just a misunderstanding that they're upset?
Well, there's no misunderstanding.
About this? Well, it could be a misunderstanding that they're upset. Because he's saying, is this too
upset.
blunt?
I think they're telling you their answer.
It's like, we're not going to come to you.
It's my way or the fucking highway.
Yeah.
And I don't like your parents for that. I think that's not
my
very
grandma
loving.
was like this. Like she was very much, it's my way or the highway kind of thing. And she would freeze people out like for months.
I mean, that was the final, like the last 7 years of my relationship with my dad. He refused to come visit me in Los Angeles. The only time he ever did was when he had business to attend to out here and he didn't have a choice. He had to come.
Yeah.
But he was straight up retired. He didn't have anything going on. I was, like I said earlier, fighting for my life. I was constantly working from paycheck to paycheck to clear bills, make sure I, was set. And he was adamant, like, no, you have to come visit me. But then step further, he would get really upset with me for not visiting him enough. And it's just like, we could see each other a lot more. If this was 50, if you were coming out and seeing me after every time I come out and visit you, we'd be seeing each other a lot more. But
it's 50-50, I think. And look, it's understanding also that sometimes you're going to be at 40-60, sometimes you're going to be at 60-40, sometimes you're going to be at 70-30. That's okay if the relationship is long and you can trust the person, right? That's part of trust. But like in the end, it should tend toward 50-50. And if it's not, watch out. you're getting fucked, you know? And I hate to put it that way with your parents, OP, because it's a tough thing, but that's my concern here. And I think you should just say like, hey, this is just, maybe reach out to them because maybe it came off too harsh or something like that. They're not used to you being this assertive, something like that. I'm trying to create some wiggle room for you. But I'm thinking you could say like, look, I can't do this right now. And I would really love it if you guys came and visited me, and leave it there.
Yep. Who is he talking to? Is it his parents? I don't think he specifies.
Telling my family.
Just my family.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's her family. Yeah.
No,
So.
it's a man.
Oh, my fiance 23F and I 25M. Yeah, you're
25M,
right. It's his
yeah.
family. Absolutely. So AITA for telling my family I don't have time to come to them and they should come to me instead. I mean, on this, I'm saying NTA.
Oh, NTA for sure.
NTA.
All right, guys, we got one heck of an ep for you today. Please rate, review, subscribe. Join us on Patreon. Over 150 bonus episodes, monthly happy hours. We're bringing them back. That's right. Jake and Shannon did one last night. We had an absolute blast. Got record numbers in the Discord, which is also a lot of
come and hang out
fun.
with us.
Our second story of the day, AITA for wanting another tattoo. But first, it's
AITA for saying my coworker drank too much at our office Christmas party to comfort my upset friend. I, 23F, started working for a healthcare chain in administration and insurance in August. Another girl, Nikki, around 45F, was also hired then. We were the only 2 employees in our training classes, but we split departments within the office once training was over. She and I did not interact much beyond the usual good morning at the time of clock in. From then on, we have a group team chat for our office, and in it, she would put snarky remarks towards me without being reprimanded by our boss. In November, she found out she had breast cancer and told us all at work. This seemed to give her even more of a pass to be rude and short with other employees, including myself. The night of our Christmas party, we had a game of White Elephant in the office where one of my other coworkers, Jessica, informed us that she had been broken up with last night and would not be attending the party dinner. We had reserved it Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right. She was one of my close friends at the time, so I was texting her off and on throughout the party dinner to make sure she was doing okay. While at the party, Nikki had 3 smoked bourbons over the course of our meal, while most of us only had 1 drink max. Over half of us not drinking at all. Our boss had to cut her off since we had work the next morning. I found this funny, so I texted Jessica about it, also including the antic of adding another employee's birthday to the dinner party at the last minute. She seemed to find it funny too, but then stopped replying. The following Monday, my boss called me into her office. Nikki is already in there with her. Nikki began to tell me that she thought I was making a hostile work environment by spreading hurtful gossip about her behind her back. She then showed me the text I'd sent Jessica that Jessica had forwarded to her. I told her if she didn't want it to be talked about, then maybe she shouldn't have drank so much at the party and became rowdy at the table to where other patrons were staring and pointing at her. So, AITA for saying my coworker drank too much at the Christmas party to comfort an upset friend.
Okay, I have one person in this story I got a problem with. Can you guess who?
Jessica.
The
Jessica.
fuck, Jessica.
what are you doing, Jessica?
What
Are
the
you
fuck are
kidding me?
doing?
Your friend is trying to comfort you and you go and forward screenshots? What are you, some mean girl? This is straight out of the movie Mean Girls.
Yeah, this is some politic and bullshit if I ever heard it.
What a rude bee.
You know how drunk you gotta be to be too drunk for an Outback Steakhouse?
Whoa. You just outdid a kangaroo-based restaurant.
Like, what the hell? Like, where is your, like, getting your friends back, having your friends
Well,
back?
that's just it, isn't it? Jessica is not her friend.
Yeah.
Guess not.
Jessica is Nikki's friend.
But now I'm wondering, OP, like, how do you think this girl was your friend? Like, she must have been saying she was. She says she was one of her closest friends, right?
And look, this is 23 years old. Like, don't say shit at work. Don't say
True.
shit. Don't
I
say
definitely
anything.
learned that.
Be the
Well, that,
see everything, don't repeat anything.
so
Yes.
Jessica also works there.
Yes.
Yes.
They're all
Okay.
coworkers.
And Nikki's 45.
Yes.
Yes. And we don't know how old Jessica is, but like maybe closer to OP's age or like in the middle somewhere.
Stiff.
Yeah.
And I don't like your strategy here, OP. I'm sorry, but trying to paint somebody in an office environment, somebody with a cancer diagnosis. Yeah, you're right. It's a free ticket. They are going to be able to have a way longer leash than anybody else in that environment. And you talking about that person that you share a professional workspace with, you're playing such a dangerous game because there's built-in sympathy that people really aren't going to think that much about. It's very simple human nature of like, you have the scariest disease I can think of anybody possibly having, and you're talking shit about that person. It doesn't matter how shitty
kind
Nikki
of don't
is.
go hand in hand. Like Nikki's kind of not a nice person
But
either.
nobody is going to publicly share that because they're thinking in self-preservation mode.
Oh, true.
They're going to protect themselves by backing up Nikki because they don't want to be the next person who's shit-talking the lady with cancer.
True.
And I think even though Nikki and OP are apparently on the same level, the fact that Nikki's 45 still does grant her, kind of seniority.
She will be
of a
seen
sort.
as the senior. And that's what also, just so you know, that's why Nikki's coming for you, because you're literally half her age and you have the same role as she does. That's why she's coming for you.
I will say, though, hurtful gossip, I don't know if that's true or not, OP. It kind of sounded like you were saying the truth, which is
she
that
was
You're
reporting.
reporting. She was reporting.
Sounds like she was
But
reporting.
asterisk, you were reporting about the woman with cancer that is fully aware that she has a free pass right now. And that is why this meeting is happening.
Yeah, but why did Jessica do it?
I think
I'm so mad at her.
My advice to you, OP, is here's the thing. I'll talk shit about coworkers to other coworkers.
Yeah, but you gotta know that they
Never.
are your.
Well, either way, even if I trust them, not in writing.
Oh, no, not in writing.
Yeah,
Not
not
in
in
writing.
writing.
'Cause
Big botch there.
Whatever. If they go and say something, then you just go, oh, well, they must have misunderstood. And there's not a damn thing that they can do. But
Now it's all hearsay.
You put it in writing and it's a different game now.
And writing is so easy to vilify, like especially text, shorthand. It is such an easy thing to take out of context.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I think you stepped in it. You stepped in it on this one.
You stepped in
Nikki
it.
sounds like she sucks, but I'll tell you something that older people in the office are really good at is playing the fucking game. And don't do this if you're not ready to play it, because they've been around this. They have been bullying people half their age their entire lives. They know how to get away with it. And I mean, also just like, it's clear that everybody in the company clocked this, but you are 100% in trouble because you talked about somebody who's sick. And everybody's self-preservation.
But I also don't think that OP is the asshole, though. Was it a botch?
No.
It was
Was
a
it
botch.
wrong?
No, it was handled
Maybe, but she, like, I think you have every right to talk to your friends the way about some other people. It might not be the nicest thing or the smartest thing to be doing, but I'm still on who I am mad at.
Yeah, I know. I think you're right. I think honestly, even Nikki, even though she was getting drunk and sloppy, I even as a teetotaler myself, I don't think I can call Nikki the asshole.
No, I don't
She's
think she
certainly
is
being
either.
obnoxious.
Although the only thing I can call her for being an asshole is like supposedly what the OP is telling us is that she makes snarky comments.
Well,
and
she's I think she's catty. She's probably very insecure about the fact that she's 45 and her colleague is 23. I mean, she's on the bottom.
That's
She's
why
like
she's coming
basically
for her,
borderline entry level.
Mhm.
That doesn't make her behavior acceptable, but that's probably part of the reality here. But I think that what Jessica did is wrong, because if Jessica even just had an objection to this behavior, I think, like, why would you rat someone out?
Yeah.
Nothing to
Go
gain.
to OP directly, Jessica,
yes,
and
and
say,
say,
hey,
like,
what you're doing is wrong. Stop doing it.
Let's
Yeah.
not do this in a work environment.
Done.
And also, I'm curious what Jessica's responses were. Obviously, they weren't bad enough that, because she sent screenshots. But I am curious, like, Jessica, you could have just shut it down in the moment instead of like dragging it into this HR nightmare.
If we're turning this into like secession style politics in the office,
yes,
Jessica whiffed here too, because like you cashed in your play. You cashed it in for nothing. You're not getting anything in return for this.
needs to be fired. Otherwise, Jessica, you are in trouble.
you are.
Everybody handled all of this wrong. The only person who came out squeaky clean is Nikki.
She really did escape. And honestly, I also would say on the boss level that I would be like, listen, if you guys are talking about each other on text about how someone, that's your business. Keep it out of work.
Yeah.
But that's where it comes back to Nikki is sick. And that is why this meeting happened. Because this boss knows that if they don't do this by the book HR style,
that's fair.
They are going to look like a callous motherfucker on their own quarterly reviews.
She's got that sympathy card.
Yep.
Unbeatable.
It's
AITA for saying my coworker drank too much at our office Christmas party to comfort my upset friend. I think we agree it's NTA and Jessica is.
It's the most complicated NTA we might have ever issued. There's so many asterisks.
But Jessica is because the two main characters.
Yeah, sure.
I guess.
Whatever it is, Jessica's the asshole.
And please rate, review, subscribe. Join us on Patreon, patreon.com/AITA pod. Here's Shannon.
AITA for wanting another tattoo. Last year, I, 24F, got my first tattoo with my best friend, Carly, 25F. It's a small phrase on my right shoulder, just 3 words and easily covered up if need be. And it meant a lot. Carly was incredibly supportive and held my hand through it. My family was super happy for me and loves the way it came out. However, not everyone in my life had positive reactions. When I went to get my tattoo, I didn't tell my boyfriend, Philip, 25M, until I was at the shop, as I was afraid he would try to talk me out of it. Every other bodily decision I ever made, dyeing or changing my hairstyle, piercings, etc., he has always been supportive of. But in the past, he has made judgmental comments about how he doesn't find tattoos attractive. Hence, why I didn't feel comfortable bringing this up to him until it was too late for me to not do it, and I couldn't be swayed to back out of it. When I got home and showed it to him, he got weird about it, acting uncomfortable and making a joke that went something like, okay, but no more, which obviously upset me, as it was clearly a way of expressing disapproval and also read to me as kind of controlling. Who are you to tell me I'm not allowed to get any more if that's what I want to do with my body? He also made a comment about how he thought he, quote unquote, knew me better than that, implying this was out of character for me in some way, which also felt like he was trying to guilt me about this decision. After some time had passed, he apologized to me for his initial reaction and said that though he actually does think my tattoo came out very nice, he sticks by what he had previously said about generally finding them unattractive and not wanting me to get any others. At the time, I told him that I would tell him in advance if I ever wanted to get another tattoo so we could talk about it, but I refused to ask permission, which we both thought was fair. However, now a year has passed and I know I want another one. Again, a small one, the size of a stamp. But can't help but feel resentful that I know I'll have to talk this out with him and possibly face more disapproval, especially considering my taste in tattoos is incredibly small and subtle. It's not like I'm ever going to get something huge that would constantly be seen and make a huge change in my appearance. In the past, I've been in a horrifically abusive relationship that ended in a restraining order. And for many years, when I was in that relationship, I was not allowed to express myself at all. I wasn't allowed to wear makeup or certain clothes like skirts, etc. It's almost triggering to feel like I'll never really have a chance to be as free with my own body as I wanted, even though my boyfriend in this situation now is nothing like that guy and his bullshit. AITA for feeling this way, or any suggestions on how to handle this?
I already know I'm going to be the least likable one on this.
We did talk about this.
Yeah, we did talk about this, and
night.
I'm picking up a few more details here that are making me a bit more flexible on this one.
Let's hear them.
The first thing I want to say is it is your body. It's your right to do whatever you want. I think that you're setting yourself up for a rough time when you know that your partner specifically has said, I don't find these things attractive. And you're specifically avoiding sharing the fact that you're going to do this with them to avoid their reaction. That is something I miss on our first read. I do think the most important thing in here is that it is your body. But I'll be honest with y'all, this is just coming down to plain old compatibility for me now.
I think that's a pretty fair read.
I don't. Come on. It's such a small tattoo, like both of them. And it's not like she's getting a full sleeve or anything.
No,
like,
you're right.
I don't think that this is completely like making them incompatible.
No, what's making them incompatible is that he's not attracted to tattoos and she wants more tattoos.
I know, but like you're telling me that someone that Jackie, who you find incredibly attractive, like were to just get like a little thing on her shoulder, all of a sudden she's not attractive to you anymore?
No, because I don't find tattoos unattractive.
I know, but like, all right, what's something that you do find attractive?
Well, I find you very attractive, Shannon.
Thank you.
But if you got a tattoo, I wouldn't like it. It would make you less attractive to me.
Really?
If
Like,
Jackie started wearing facefuls of temporary piercings everywhere she went, like not even real piercings, just had a bunch of clip-ons all over her face, and she's just like, this is who I am now, then yeah, we might have some serious work to do in our relationship in order to make it work. But that's what I'm saying about compatibility here is like, you are absolutely in the right to get whatever tattoos you want.
100%.
But if your partner does not find them attractive.
Yes.
I know, but you can't, you just can't say that tattoos, like blanket statement, aren't attractive.
To me, they are. I don't find them attractive.
You've never seen one that you find attractive?
Oh, no, it's not that I don't.
If someone had like a tiny little one on their wrist, all of a sudden I'm ugly now.
No, you're misunderstanding. It's not that I don't even find some tattoos to be beautiful. The tattoo itself. Sure, absolutely. I find many tattoos to be great or hilarious or all kinds of things. Is that I don't find a tattoo on a person to be attractive. I don't find the behavior of getting tattoos to be attractive.
I think we're also not seeing the forest through the trees here. The real matter at hand is that she knew how her partner was going to feel about it. She knew that he wasn't going to approve, and she intentionally omitted the truth to set herself up to get the tattoo without any pushback. And that is your right to get that tattoo. But
100%.
it spells big trouble for the long-term health of your relationship if you are going to just under the radar make decisions that you know your partner isn't going to like and just expect them to deal with the fallout.
And here's the thing. When we say it's my body, I think the primary association everyone's having is abortion, right? That's my body, my choice, right? Right?
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I immediately went to haircut of like Jackie could want to shave her head tomorrow, and I don't find that unattractive, so I'd be for it. But if I wanted to shave my head and she had specifically told me before, I don't find men with shaved heads attractive, and I just did it without cluing her in on that decision, without hey, I'm going to do this. I want to do this.
Right.
Then I think there's a ton more sympathy suddenly of like, well, I don't like my partner to have a shaved head.
Yeah, no, and I want to go there, but I feel like the my body thing gets thrown out a bit, and I think it's a little bit of a red herring because we all agree. Everyone, you have a right to get whatever tattoo you want. It's your body. You have a right to get an abortion or whatever it may be. It's your body, 100%.
And if he doesn't fuck with that.
Okay, but here's the thing. When you enter in a relationship with someone, you give up some of your rights. That is the premise. Yes, you do. You do. You give up your right to fuck anyone you want. You do. You have a right to do it.
Nobody has a right to fuck anybody they want.
Well, whatever. Fuck anyone who wants to fuck you.
That's dangerous.
Okay. Don't fuck it. I'm not talking about buffet of fucking. I'm talking about consensually fucking people. You give up things. That's the nature of a relationship. It's a compromise, right? You're giving up things about what you will do with your body. Now you won't use your body to have sex with someone else, right? You're using it to have sex, right?
All right.
You're giving it up. You have to. You're giving up certain freedoms. You're agreeing that you'll spend a certain amount of time with that person. That's inherent in it. I thought of an analogy. Yes, it's about snowboarding, Shannon. Hold on to your seats. Now, I like to snowboard. Some people like to do something extremely dangerous, which is like,
rock climbing without a harness.
Exactly. That's exactly what I wanted to go to.
Whoa.
That's very.
Look at the chemistry between you two.
Finishing sentences. That's exactly what I had in mind.
I love it.
Now, if you date a climber like that, what is that guy doing? He's endangering his body.
Yeah,
now, for the vast majority of us with our anxiety, I could never date someone who is risking their life in a very dangerous, we're talking about a sport that kills a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Base jumping, super fucking dangerous. But let's just go to a middle of the road thing, much like a small tattoo. I want to go heli skiing, which is where you're dropped off a helicopter. Now, it's not as dangerous, but it's fucking dangerous. You're on a freaking mountain that no one else has traversed. You're being dropped from a helicopter. You could get buried in an avalanche and die. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Totally acceptable. It's my body. Well, yeah, but you're in a relationship with someone and they care about your body. They don't want you to be dead or mangled in some way, right? So like, I just feel like my body thing is a little bit of a red herring, because now going into what you're saying about haircuts, like you are agreeing to be with someone and to, you know, cultivate some level of being attractive to them. That could mean wearing deodorant or having a haircut. Like, I think it can be too restrictive where you have to get permission for everything. But like, a tattoo is a permanent change. It's not really like, even if it's quote unquote small, like it's a permanent change to your body.
Yeah. And I guess I can see what you mean by like a compatibility thing, because if he really can't get past it and she really wants to do it, then I understand. But I still just think like, now look, like I understand, like I've seen some ugly tattoos. Like I just am thinking of this one guy from college who like I thought was so hot, and then he like takes off his shirt. He had the ugliest tattoos. I mean, he was still hot. I definitely still had sex with him, but like I can see how like, yeah, I don't really think I would like that guy like as a boyfriend, because I really don't like his tattoos. But I think there are some tattoos that are attractive, but I just can't imagine that like just one little tiny thing can now be like, oh, never mind. I'm not in love with this person anymore.
But that's the thing, is relationships are hard, and sometimes it is a tiny little thing.
Relationships are made of little things.
And look, like this is like, this is a weird thing for me to draw on, but it's something that like TV shows will use this a lot when they want to break up a couple and they don't want it to be a big deal and they just want to move on from it. An easy way for them to do that is just having one character want to have kids and the other character not want to have kids. And that's a big choice. That's a big choice, but it's a little thing. It's a little detail.
Any little thing, you know, oh, I got a job in a different city. Are you willing to move? No.
You know what fucks up a house of cards? A feather. It really doesn't take a lot.
It's kind of shallow.
I don't think it is. I don't think it's shallow when your issue is, you know that I don't want this and you're not including me in the decision. I don't think that's shallow.
I know, but I still just don't think that it's like
not including me in the decision. You're not giving me a heads up. No, I shouldn't say decision. You're not including me in the decisions that you're making. Exactly. And you know that I am not necessarily in line with it. So it's not about permission. I 100% agree. Like, if you want a full sleeve, get a full sleeve. That's none of his business. But in the business of the relationship, you're not valuing how he feels about this at all. Ding, 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 and if you show him that consideration, it could change the entire thing. But you already fucked up by going under him. Like, look, one of my exes sold my mattress without like she wanted to replace the mattress I had when we moved in together with her mattress, which frankly was a fucking tuft and needle. It was a shitty little Amazon mattress. It was not good, but it was spongy and I had a really nice feather top. It was worth a lot of money. I told her, like, I'd really rather not get rid of this mattress. I know you prefer the tuft and needle one, but like this mattress is really nice, and it'd be hard to replace this one with something of equal quality. And I had that boundary. She just sold it without asking me after I specifically asked her not to. That was when I checked out of the relationship because I knew I'd never be a value in it.
It's disrespect. What she's doing is disrespect. She knows how he feels. And I do agree, Shannon, that if someone were to be like, oh, you got a tiny two, I'm breaking up with you, I'd be like, well, that seems a little ridiculous, but it's not really made of that. It's made of, I know how you feel. I disregarded your feelings. I didn't even inform you. I didn't even give you an opportunity, and I just did whatever the fuck I want. Well, that sounds a lot like someone who cheats. I know you didn't want me to cheat, but I did whatever I wanted to do because it's about me. And you know what? That is your right. But you have a partner and you didn't consider them.
If this was just an isolated incident of like you got one fucking tattoo, you just wanted to get it, you didn't put too much thought in it, I wouldn't be too worried about this. I would still be of the position I was at last night where, you know, in the happy hour, I was just like, it's one tattoo, get the fuck over it. But hearing it back and hearing like how much you were just not important in this decision,
the boyfriend?
Yeah, and look, like any decision I make, like when I get a haircut, I clear it with Jackie first. Not clear it, I get her input of like, I'm growing out a fucking mullet right now. It's gonna look fucking sick. Jackie's on board. But if she had said like, I'm really not attracted to that haircut, I would have reevaluated because I want to look away. Like if I really wanted it, I grow it out for a little bit and then get rid of it, and like Jackie would have dealt with it because she knew that I just wanted to see what it looks like. Fortunately, she's on board with it.
I guess if you put it in terms of if like you go and get a nose job without telling your partner, like that's pretty pretty bad.
It's easy to dogpile on this guy because it does sound very much like, when you read it at a passing level, it is very much like, whoa, you can't believe you did that to the body, to your body. You did that. But that's not what he's upset about. And that's where we were getting so caught up on the tattoo thing. Well, it's not about the tattoo.
But he is saying, like, I thought I knew you better than that. But like, he's being pretty judgmental.
No, but he's not being judgmental about the tattoo. He's being judgmental about her subverting past agency.
It was a betrayal. No, Shannon, it was revealing of character.
No, that's not necessarily what it means.
I mean, not necessarily.
What do you think? What do you think? I thought I knew you better than that. That's about trust. That's not about liking tattoos.
Yes, Jake and I are aligned against Shannon. It's finally happening.
I don't agree with that.
Jake's mine now. How does that feel?
Let's not get crazy.
I don't know that I agree. It could just mean that, like, oh, I didn't think you were that type of girl.
But that's
say that type of girl.
No,
that's what it could be. That's what I think that's what she thinks too.
I think. Listen, let me say
because she's
things.
not. She's minimizing it down to the tattoo because that's an argument.
Okay,
she can
then
win.
Actually, I think what they need to do is have a real conversation about that.
I think they're having it.
They should have had that before she got the tattoo.
OP, here's the thing. I do agree. I do agree that this is being controlling. I don't think that's necessarily a healthy way to characterize it. I think your boyfriend is being consistent. He has a standard. He doesn't like tattoos. I think that's an acceptable standard. Okay. By the way, shout out to all my tattoo listeners. You know, I love you all. Freitas, Amelia, Bamilia. You guys are gems. And many others. But that's how he feels in a romantic relationship. That's just how he feels. That's his thing. I think that is a fair thing. You knew that, OP. You disregarded it, which was disrespectful. You didn't even give him a chance to inform it.
But
you feel, hold on. You feel that he's being controlling. I don't disagree. He is trying to exert control over you. He doesn't want you to do this because by the way, it's because he loves you. Or because he likes you or whatever.
No, it's because he still wants to be attracted to her.
Exactly. Well, yeah. Why does he want to be attracted to her? To maintain their relationship. So you have to ask yourself, OP, how important is this to you to get these tattoos? Because if it's more important that you're going to want more tattoos, and it sounds like you got a habit brewing, then this might not be your guy.
And there's nothing wrong with ending a relationship because you want to have tattoos and your partner doesn't like tattoos. That's a perfectly Shannon. If Max came home with a can of Mountain Dew tattooed on his neck and he didn't consult you about it.
That's so different than 3 words on the shoulder.
It's not, though.
Yes,
it
is. No, it's not. If he had a Mountain Dew can on his neck, yes, that's a different story.
But we're getting into
you wouldn't be shocked if he came home with a Mountain Dew can tattooed anywhere on his body. You wouldn't be like, you didn't want to maybe give me a heads up you were going to do that?
If it was 3 little words on his shoulder, that's so different. I wouldn't care about that.
What if you were specifically grossed out by tattoos?
My question is so she should have what then? Told him I'm going to go do it. And then he would have said, no, I don't like it. And then her be like, okay,
I think that could have been the conversation. Like, hey, I want to get another tattoo. And he says, well, I don't want to.
In the beginning.
Here's what
the first time she ever went.
Okay. Hey, I know you really don't like tattoos. I know that you're really not for them. I know that like they're not attractive to you, but I really want to get this one. And it's important to me for these reasons. And look, this isn't really me asking you for permission. I'm kind of letting you know that this is going to happen. And I kind of want to get more tattoos, but you're really important to me. And I don't want to do this without you being in the loop, but I'm also not asking for permission here. I need you to understand that this is who I am. And this is how I want to express myself. So I would really love to have your blessing on this. And if you don't, then I want to know that our relationship can still work. And it's fair for you to not think that it can. That is what you should have done.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good way to do it.
And I just think that I think that Danny is onto something where it's like, it is your body, but we're not talking about your body. We're talking about establishing trust in a growing relationship. And you don't need to ask for permission, but you do need to keep your partner looped into the choices that you make that are going to be something that they look at. And it's fine for him to not be into it. And it's fine for you to value having tattoos more than this relationship. That's not a selfish choice.
Well, and I think framing it that way is a little off base too. It's not necessarily that you value tattoos more than this person. It's that you want to keep getting your tattoos and this person doesn't want that. And so what can you do? What can you honestly do? You are incompatible and you can't be in a relationship where you're incompatible.
Well, he might end up liking them. You never know.
But that's you never know.
But now you're making the partner an NPC, and let's take gender out of it.
NPC.
The non-playable character. You're just
dehumanizing them.
You're a tool in somebody else's life to just exist in a role. That's where I think if we just take gender norms out of this entirely, and this is just two people existing, everybody has a right to be in the loop on decisions that their partner makes that are permanent. That's not controlling. It is controlling to tell your partner, okay, well, no more. That is you don't get to tell me to do that. I'm going to get more. And if you're not down with that, then this relationship's probably not going to work out. I don't think there's any villains in this story other than the boyfriend having a bit of a machismo reaction to it, a little bit, and you kind of treating him like this expendable thing in your life that's just supposed to get on board with every decision that you make.
Exactly. I love that, Jake. Well put.
I don't think there's any villains in this story, and I'm really sorry that it happened.
And I can think of another analogy here, which is that I had a friend who was a stand-up who intended on touring, and his girlfriend had specifically said, I don't want to date a stand-up because they're never home. They're always out.
Well, why'd you start dating him?
Because they liked each other.
Because maybe I can get over it. Maybe I'll wind up liking it.
And this is how you get into toxic things, because it's you signed up to be with someone that you're ultimately not compatible with. And guess what? It's going to lead to problems. Duh.
Yeah.
You want different things.
Yeah.
AITA for wanting another tattoo. I think we're going with a nice no assholes here.
I think it's a no assholes here. Things could have been handled differently. I'm not even going to say better. It sounds like you two, maybe there's some stars crossed here, and sometimes it's over shallow shit.
And also, I think just have another conversation with him and see where you both are at this point with it.
I think so.
Yeah, totally. What's the dumbest tattoo you guys would get?
Oh, probably there's this convenience store on the East Coast, the tri-state area,
Wawa?
New Jersey. Yeah, I would get a Wawa.
Okay. I don't hate that. That's some good hometown shit. I dig that.
Yeah.
I've always been a big Mountain Dew guy. I was kind of into your Mountain Dew can.
Oh, hopefully not on your neck though.
I mean, I kind of want to sleeve,
and not real size.
But I'm not getting it as a true tattoo person. I'm just getting it because I think women like it, and I'm I want to be a cool bad boy.
I don't want to relegate my whole personality to soda, but for the California aspect of myself, I do think a photorealistic In-N-Out lemon up with an animal style fry next to it,
lemon up.
It's their pink lemonade mixed with 7-Up. It's my favorite thing.
Okay,
at In-N-Out.
we're breaking up.
Oh, at In-N-Out.
No, but that's my dumbest.
Oh, that's another it's like a Wawa
it's
thing.
It's
animal fries.
Animal fries with sauce dripping off the side.
Oh, actually, I have a friend that literally does have a milkshake one on her.
Oh, this could be cute. I kind of like it.
Oh,
With
okay.
the
As soon as it's on a woman, you're fine with it, Danny.
Exactly.
You want to lick that milkshake.
I'm sorry.
You're just afraid of a man with a fry tattoo.
We should go to In-N-Out after this. Is there an In-N-Out?
There is an In-N-Out nearby.
It's
usually not too bad.
They're talking about In-N-Out locations. Come with me to our last situation. Rate, review, subscribe, join us on Patreon, patreon.com/AITA pod. AITA for keeping my window open while I shower. I-24F recently moved into a rental house. The house has one bathroom, and in that bathroom, there's a small window looking into the backyard. I live in a very wet state.
Oh, baby.
Was that Louisiana? Wet
state.
It's not humid. It's just straight
sloppy, wet, muddy,
and
dumb,
without proper
floppy state. Sorry.
Without proper ventilation in the bathrooms, mold and mildew develop quickly. I run the fan in the bathroom, but it's old and doesn't do a great job of moisture control. So to help with humidity, I've started to open the window while the shower's running and a few minutes after to dissipate steam. I also have a dog who likes to be outside during the warm days, so keeping the window open allows me to listen out for the dog. I didn't see any problem with this setup because even though my window is visible to the houses behind and beside me, every time I look out, the windows have blinds fully drawn. A few days ago, I was on the Nextdoor app and I read a post by one of the neighbors in a house behind me. They listed their address that said, quote, "To the young woman across the way who likes to shower with her window open, as much as we all enjoy looking at your body, please demonstrate some modesty. I have 2 teenage sons who don't need to watch pornography through their bedroom windows." Now, initially, I was embarrassed at the idea of some kid watching me get ready in the bathroom and thought about changing my habits. But as I read the post over again, I read some of the comments, I got annoyed, and now I don't know. Some of the comments were from people claiming that I'm, quote, lonely or begging for attention, while others said I'm a, quote, predator or trying to seduce my neighbors. None of that's true. I genuinely, albeit naively, thought that all the windows visible to me had blinds drawn while I was in the bathroom. I feel like it's important to note that you cannot see into my shower from the window. All someone outside would be able to see is my waist up when I'm directly in front of my sink, and even then it's just a side view. It's not porn. I pretty quickly put a robe on after my shower too, so it's not like I'm spending a lot of time in the nude dancing around in front of the window. I'd absolutely have closed the windows if I had noticed someone watching me. Believe it or not, most young women don't enjoy or get off on the idea of being watched in their own homes. I decided to respond to the post, being careful not to reveal myself as the window person to avoid some creep seeking me out. I commented, you could use this opportunity to teach your sons not to sexualize the female body and to respect people's privacy. You can't control what other people do in their homes, but you can control how you react. A few commenters agreed with me, but a few said that the shower should be considerate of other people in the neighborhood and close the window. I don't know what to do. I feel like I have valid reasons to keep it open, but I don't want some teen or anyone else watching me to get ready in the bathroom. AITA.
A small correction here, because I feel like these teenage boys are getting thrown under the bus hard. The teenage boys did not sexualize you at all. The teenage boys were sexualized by their own mom, which is super creepy. Like, the mom is projecting the sexualization she's having on your naked body onto her sons, who, as far as we know, weren't involved in this at all. And it's immediately going to a place of like, my sons don't need to be watching porn. It's like, you're the one putting some sexualization on your sons here, and that's super off-putting and weird.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably checking her out, and maybe they jacked off to it. I mean, it's not the craziest thing a teenage boy has done. I will ding the mom on pornography.
It's fucking weird to talk about your sons when we don't know if the sons are doing anything like that.
I think
it's your problem, not theirs.
I agree that it's overly policing. I mean, what they're
but there's a lot of projection going on here.
They're seeing someone of the opposite sex that they're attracted to naked.
So if you see a naked woman's body and you immediately go, she's a predator, she's a predator, she's trying to turn me on with her sexy hotness, I don't want to look at that.
No, that commenter is an asshole. And I think classifying it as pornography is like the lady doth protest too much. That's not
That's what I'm saying.
That's a naked woman.
There's weird projection going on here in the community chat.
saying that she's a predator and trying to seduce her
that was
neighbors.
some of the comments. I thought those were the comments.
That was
comments.
But it's still, but the mother does come in with like equating this to porn, and that's where it's like, it's really fucked up. And I just don't like it when parents go to protecting their children from their own sexualities. Like,
well, yeah, it's ridiculous. You're
say
not
what
doing
your problem is.
Ma'am, they have smartphones. I guarantee you they're watching
they
things
can
that
see
are
way cooler shit.
Way more pornographic.
This isn't 1975
but like
anymore.
When it's real life, like there's just something that's a little bit more like, whoa, I can't believe this is happening to me, like in real life.
Oh, sure.
I think your average 15-year-old, when they see a naked person now, is just like, and I'm sorry. What?
No, I'm with Shannon on this.
It's
definitely very exciting to see. I mean, God, they probably have never seen a woman naked and with their bare eyes. You know, it's an amazing thing.
Depending on how old these kids are, like teenager range from 13 to 19. Like, there's a huge difference in that age.
I actually was in a relationship for a bit, and I would be naked in her house. And she would be like, hey, you should put on clothes. What if the neighbors see? And because there was kind of like a windowed angled. So if they were in their second floor looking down, they could have seen me naked. And I was like, well, then they should stop looking. You know, like, that's not my problem.
That's what it comes down to, is you are either comfortable with the impact that people seeing you naked is going to have on them, which it's not sexualizing you. There's a naked person in the window, and that's just what that is.
That's just what that is.
So you're either comfortable with that or you're not. And if you're not comfortable with it, get some blinds.
Well, I think a part of her is like a little bit like shocked and embarrassed that like, A, anyone can even see her, and B, they're talking about it on a forum, and she's getting a little bit defensive here too. Like I would probably feel this way as well. Like, Jesus, I was just like existing in my house, and I was trying not to like have the bathroom get moldy and whatever. And now I'm like, I didn't even realize I was getting watched. So I can see why she's like having this reaction.
It's violating. It's a little violating.
No. And also the whole neighborhood chirping off about it is super off-putting and weird.
Yeah, it's gross.
I'm not saying her response is unreasonable at all, but I think that it does just come down to like, if you're naked in front of a window, like that's a known risk.
Someone's gonna notice.
It's a known risk. My old apartment in Sherman Oaks, like I'm confident that the full ass family, and I didn't intentionally leave my blinds open, but I'm confident they saw me just walking around that bedroom without me realizing it. And like, yeah, chips fall where they may. I don't know what to tell you. You got a show, I guess.
Yeah. And blinds are not full fail proof either. Like across the way from us. I swear, like, I can see their window through the little slivers of my blinds on the side. I'm like, they've had to have seen like something at one point or another.
Whatever. So whatever.
What this really comes down to is us normalizing nudity and not making it such a big fucking
sexual.
deal. Right. That's what I'm saying.
That's what he's trying to preach.
I mean, whatever.
Listen up.
Nudity is a little bit sexual. Let's not. I'm not going to live in that
all
world.
of it.
Well, no, not all of it, but like whatever. It's I
think it's only a little bit sexual because we have made it such taboo in a weird way in our society where it's impossible for it to not be sexual now, when in reality, like, if you've ever been around people who practice nudity as like a cultural expression, there is no sexual,
that's kind of the whole conceit of that.
There's no erotic
nudist is not like a sex thing,
right?
It's like a
so that
thing,
but that's what I'm saying is nudity
it's possible. I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
incoherent. I just don't, I think most of us are turned on by a naked person. I don't think that's
I like a little bit of mystery.
I don't know about that.
I like a little bit of mystery personally.
I actually do think, though, the biggest sin here, I think that it really is posting this. I think posting it actually was very performative, and it actually wasn't about solving the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, because if she really wanted to solve it, because I mean,
just go next door and knock.
When I was naked in this girl's house, if the neighbor came over and was like, "Hey man, like I just saw you naked. I just don't really want to see." Oh my God, I would be mortified. I'd be like, "I am so sorry, sir. I completely understand, and I'll be conscious of that." But to try to shame me for that, then I would be like, oh, now you think you have the moral high ground on me, when I was just it wasn't my house, but like I was just doing my own thing. I wasn't doing anything wrong, and she wasn't really doing anything wrong. I stand by that.
No, I don't think she was.
So by
either.
trying to publicly shame her, that was a way of trying to position themselves as like, you know what it is? This is what I fucking hate when people do. When people say like, oh, what you're saying is really offensive. Okay, well, are you offended? Well, no. Fucking hate it. If you are hurt by something I said, I'm sorry I hurt you, no problem. But this is like being like, and this is going back to what you're saying, Jay. Oh, you're messing with my boys. It's like, really? Did the boys complain? I don't think they did. And you're projecting your whole bullshit. They're probably gonna be like,
Mom, why did you stop that?
Yeah, right.
And see that, but that is still sexualizing boys. And I think it's weird to talk about children's like exposure to sexuality. It's what we're seeing in politics. Why are we talking so much about children's sexuality in politics right now?
We're not talking about children. They're teenagers.
Those are children.
Not necessarily. They could be 18 and 19.
I don't think sexualization enters into this for me, but I do
17
think
in some areas.
I also think she's saying, please demonstrate some modesty. No, that's what you think is modest. And it goes back to this whole reporting thing. And you're not reporting. You are saying be modest. Well, what if my definition of modest is taking a fucking shower?
Yeah.
So if she had come over and said, hey, I'm uncomfortable with the fact that you're naked in front of your window, period. That is clean.
Yeah.
Well, one time, so we lived on a corner, and so the house behind us was turned the other way. It doesn't matter to the story at all.
What kind of trees did they have?
We were looking.
Is it a colonial, postmodern ranch?
What is going on?
Tudor? Was it a Tudor?
We know nothing.
In our backyard, we could see their living room.
Okay.
And it was a big window. And one day, my mom saw like a guy, I think, just like watching porn on their big like flat screen TV.
Hell yeah, brother.
And luckily, like, I guess, because my mom would always like then go and check, like, okay, are they doing that again? Because like my kids are playing in the backyard kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so it never happened again, but she was like, if it did happen again, like I would have to like go and knock on his door and just be like, hey,
I think that's
like,
super fair.
Would you mind like closing the blinds during that time?
That's super reasonable.
I think that is like a good thing to do instead of, publicly shaming, even though she doesn't. Well, she put her address. The writer and did put her address.
Yeah, come get some.
She did. So like you could like process of elimination, like you could technically figure out who the woman is.
Well, yeah, but I'm just like, why don't, ma'am, why are you posting about this online? Go address the individual that you have an issue with.
Homeowners Association bullshit.
Exactly. It's posturing. This was posturing. This was for her ego. This wasn't to solve the problem. This was to say, I'm better than you.
Yeah. How do I solve this? Oh, I have an idea. Go knock on her door.
Yeah.
No, it's very, what's her name from The Simpsons? Think about the children. It has nothing to do with the children.
Exactly.
You know what I think's going on? I think OP's got a slamming bod, and this person's jelly.
Oh boy,
This person's
I'm not going
jelly.
down that path.
No, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there he backed off.
I'm never backing off.
Oh no, he's back.
I don't know for sure.
Where's he going now?
Tell you what, she gave you the address. You know who you should call.
She wants you to come over.
Who you gonna call? Ghostbuster.
Oh boy, we lost Shannon.
No. 1-800
Shannon's
spider
a giggle
purchasing
fest.
is who you call in this situation.
Oh God. AITA for keeping my window open while I shower. I think it's a no-brainer. NTA and this person outing you on the next door.
Yeah,
Pretty much
NTA,
anyone
I'm
on the
so
next door app
sorry.
is
The
an
next
asshole.
door app
Oh, it's just a bunch
Citizen,
of Karens and Susans.
racist.
For fucking
They're pieces of
bootlicking,
shit.
like, yeah, just like homeowners association
Shut the
types.
fuck up next door.
Yeah, they're like the class pets of the world.
Yeah.
You know what's actually like fucked? Ring doorbell pays cops to advertise, like to push Ring doorbells on people. They give
Really?
cops payouts to like
I don't
encourage
know. We
people to
gotta
get
fact check
rings.
What? That's wild.
You're back.
Cops tell people
Yeah,
like,
but
oh,
rings
you gotta
are
get on.
good.
There was a whole thing with
Wait, you
Amazon.
don't think they
that-
are?
You're on to. I know what you're talking about. There's something fucked up going on there. Yeah, I remember reading about
Uh-oh, but it saved people's lives, honey.
that. Yeah, well, something
Also, another thing that they do on Nextdoor, which I think is interesting, like in Los Angeles, every so often you'll see a Nextdoor posting about a crazy man with a samurai sword is running loose in a river wash.
Yeah, all their ads.
That happened once. It happened near where I grew up in the Tahunga Wash, up in the north east corner of the valley. And they will replay the juiciest, wildest, like crazy crime that's happened in an area, but they'll talk about it like it just happened. So you'll get these recurring beats of these insane crimes that are happening all around you when in reality it happened once 15 years ago.
You know
they're just preying on fear.
You know what I don't like about the Ring cameras is whenever it's Halloween and I'm an adult and there's a thing of candy outside of their doorstep and like, you know, I want to take a little piece. And then now in the Ring doorbell, they see I'm not wearing a costume and I'm 30 years old.
Okay,
and
wait.
then I look like a weirdo stealing their candy.
what you're doing's weird.
This is my favorite Shannon revelation.
What you're doing is weird,
There has
Shannon.
never been something that you haunt around neighborhoods on Halloween looking for unattended door candy, and you're thwarted by a Ring doorbell.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, damn it.
You have nothing to lose, Shannon. Just take the candy.
A supermodel took all our fucking Mr. Good bars.
Yeah,
Those are my favorite ones.
Like they're sitting back in the house with just like, honey, come look at this. A Valkyrie of a woman is taking the good bars.
Athena herself.
We put up a sign that says, please take one. She took 4. Shandy the Candy Bandit.
Shandy the Candy Bandit.
That's me.
AITA for keeping my window open while I shower. I think we agree wholeheartedly. NTA and she is.
Yep.
Guys,
Yeah.
that's the ep. Much love.
What an ep it was.
What an app.
Woo-wee. Thanks for listening, gang. We'll see you next time. Bye.
1,
Bye.
2, 3, bye.
Oh. Bye.
Yeah, I got a half breath. I'm going to let you guys fight for this one. Like how you all just fucking ripped my low note. Now you're all coming for my shtick. You're all coming for my shtick, ripping me off. Shannon's on a bad streak.
Shannon.
I'm losing so badly lately. I'm so upset.